Question 1. Policy coverage. Which of the following statements accurately describes the coverage provided by a HO3 special form homeowners policy? A. The HO3 policy provides open perils coverage for the dwelling and named perils coverage for personal property. B. The HO3 policy provides named perils coverage for both the dwelling and personal property. C. The HO3 policy provides open perils coverage for both the dwelling and personal property. D. The HO3 policy provides broad perils coverage for the dwelling and limited perils coverage for personal property. Answer A. The HO3 policy provides open perils coverage for the dwelling and named perils coverage for personal property. Explanation. The HO3 policy is one of the most common homeowners policies and is known for its broad coverage. It provides an open perils, also known as all risks, coverage for the dwelling, meaning that it covers all causes of loss except those specifically excluded in the policy. For personal property, however, it provides named perils coverage, which means it only covers losses from perils explicitly listed in the policy. This is a key distinction between the types of coverage provided for the dwelling and personal property. Question 2. Claims process. When filing a claim under a homeowner's policy, which of the following is typically NOT considered a necessary step? A. Notifying the insurer within a specified time frame. B. Providing a detailed inventory of damaged or stolen items. C. Replacing damaged property before the insurer has conducted an inspection. D. Submitting a written proof of loss form within a specific period. Answer. C. Replacing damaged property before the insurer has conducted an inspection. Explanation. When filing a claim, it is important to follow the correct procedures to ensure a smooth process. Typically, you must notify the insurer within the time frame specified in the policy, provide a detailed inventory of damaged or stolen items, and submit a written proof of loss form. Replacing damaged property before the insurer has conducted an inspection is generally not advised, as it can affect the insurer's ability to assess the damage accurately and could lead to issues with the claim settlement. The insurer needs to evaluate the loss before any repairs or replacements are made to determine the extent of the coverage and appropriate settlement. Question 3. Scenario-based question. Mr. Smith's house was damaged by a storm, resulting in significant damage to the roof and some of the interior rooms. He has a HO5 comprehensive form homeowners policy. Mr. Smith needs to file a claim but is unsure whether the damage to his personal property is covered. What should Mr. Smith do to ensure he accurately assesses the coverage for his personal property? A. Review the policy to confirm that personal property is covered under an open perils basis. B. Assume that personal property is covered because the policy is comprehensive. C. File a claim only for the damage to the dwelling, as personal property damage is always excluded. D. Contact the insurer and ask them to provide a list of covered perils for personal property. Answer A. Review the policy to confirm that personal property is covered under an open perils basis. Explanation. A HO5 comprehensive form policy generally provides open perils coverage for both the dwelling and personal property, which means it covers all risks of loss except those specifically excluded. However, Mr. Smith should still review his policy to confirm that this applies to his personal property. It's important to verify the specifics of the coverage provided to avoid misunderstandings about what is covered and to ensure he files the claim correctly. Assuming coverage without checking the policy details can lead to unexpected issues during the claims process. Question 4. Policy exclusions. Which of the following perils is typically excluded from coverage under a standard homeowners policy? A. Vandalism. B. Fire. C. Flood. D. Theft. Answer. C. Flood. Explanation. Most standard homeowners policies exclude coverage for flood damage. Floods are considered a distinct risk, and coverage for such damage usually requires a separate flood insurance policy, such as those offered by the National Flood Insurance Program and FIP. Vandalism, fire, and theft are generally covered under standard homeowners policies, though specific exclusions or limitations may apply based on the policy terms. Question 5. Endorsements and riders. Which endorsement would most likely be used to cover damage caused by sewer backup? A. Personal property replacement cost endorsement. B. Water backup and sump overflow endorsement. C. Earthquake endorsement. D. Identity theft endorsement. Answer. B. Water backup and sump overflow endorsement. Explanation. The water backup and sump overflow endorsement is specifically designed to cover damage caused by the backup of water from sewers or drains. This type of endorsement addresses a common exclusion in standard policies. The personal property replacement cost endorsement pertains to replacing personal property at replacement cost rather than actual cash value, while the earthquake endorsement covers damage from earthquakes and the identity theft endorsement provides protection against identity theft issues. Question 6. Liability coverage. Under a typical homeowner's policy, which of the following would be covered under personal liability protection? A. Damage to a neighbor's car caused by a storm. B. Medical expenses for a guest injured on the insured's property. C. Property damage to the insured's own home from a burst pipe. D. Loss of income due to property damage. Answer: B. Medical expenses for a guest injured on the insured's property. Explanation: personal liability protection under a homeowner's policy typically covers medical expenses for injuries sustained by guests on the insured's property. It does not cover damage to the insured's own property or loss of income. Damage to a neighbor's car due to a storm may be covered under the property coverage, not liability, and damage from a burst pipe would fall under property coverage, not liability protection. Question 7. Coverage limits. Which statement accurately reflects how coverage limits work for personal property under standard homeowners policy? A. Personal property is covered up to the full replacement cost without any limit. B. Personal property is covered up to a specific limit per item and in total. C. Personal property coverage is only for named perils and has no limit. D. Personal property is covered only if the total value exceeds a specific amount. Answer: B. Personal property is covered up to a specific limit per item and in total. Explanation: most homeowners policies set limits on the amount of coverage available for personal property, both in total and for individual items. For example, there may be a limit on the coverage for high-value items such as jewelry or electronics. The coverage is typically subject to these limits, and additional coverage may be needed for high-value items through endorsements or additional policies. Question 8. Risk assessment. Which factor is most likely to increase the premium of a homeowner's insurance policy? A. Installing a new security system. B. Having a high deductible. C. Owning a swimming pool. D. Adding a home office. Answer: C. Owning a swimming pool. Explanation: owning a swimming pool is a factor that can increase the risk profile of a property, leading to higher premiums. Pools present additional liability risks and potential for accidents, which insurers may account for by increasing the premium. Installing a new security system and having a high deductible generally reduce the premium, while adding a home office may have varying effects depending on the nature of the business conducted. Question 9. Underwriting criteria. When underwriting a homeowner's insurance policy, which of the following factors is AST likely to influence the underwriting decision? A. The age and condition of the home. B. The insured's credit score. C. The number of occupants in the home. D. The type of flooring in the home. Answer: D. The type of flooring in the home. Explanation: underwriting criteria for homeowners insurance typically focus on factors such as the age and condition of the home, the insured's credit score, and the number of occupants, as these can significantly affect the risk and potential claims. The type of flooring in the home is generally not a significant factor in underwriting decisions that may impact other aspects of coverage or claims. Question 10. Policy changes. If an insured makes significant renovations to their home, which action should they take to ensure proper coverage? A. Continue with the existing policy without changes. B. Reduce the coverage limit to save on premiums. C. Notify the insurer and update the policy to reflect the changes. D. Cancel the policy and purchase a new one. Answer: C. Notify the insurer and update the policy to reflect the changes. Explanation: significant renovations can affect the value and risk profile of the home, so it is important to notify the insurer and update the policy accordingly. This ensures that the coverage limits are sufficient to cover the improved property value and any increased risks associated with the renovations. Simply continuing with the existing policy or cancelling it without updating coverage can leave the insured underinsured or at risk of coverage gaps. Question 11. Home insurance coverage. Which of the following types of damage is most likely to be covered under the loss of use provision of a homeowner's policy? A. Damage to the home's foundation caused by settling. B. Loss of rental income due to tenants being displaced. C. Additional living expenses while the home is being repaired after a fire. D. Damage to personal property from a power surge. Answer: C. Additional living expenses while the home is being repaired after a fire. Explanation: the loss of use provision, also known as additional living expenses coverage, provides compensation for costs incurred when the insured cannot live in their home due to a covered loss. such as a fire. This includes temporary housing, food, and other expenses that are over and above the insured's normal living costs, damage to the home's foundation, rental income loss, and damage from a power surge are typically covered under other provisions of the policy. Question 12. Policy exclusions. Which of the following perils would NOT typically be excluded under the named perils coverage of a homeowner's policy? A. Windstorm. B. Earthquake. C. Theft. D. Fire. Answer A. Windstorm. Explanation. Named perils coverage includes specific risks that are listed in the policy. Commonly covered named perils include fire, theft, and windstorm. Earthquake is generally excluded from standard named perils coverage and requires a separate endorsement or policy. Understanding the specific perils listed in the policy helps in knowing what is covered and what requires additional coverage. Question 13. Personal liability coverage. Under a homeowner's policy, which situation is most likely covered by personal liability protection? A. Damage caused by a tree falling on the neighbor's house during a storm. B. An injury sustained by the insured's family member while playing sports at home. C. Legal costs and damages from a lawsuit resulting from a dog bite. D. Damage to personal property caused by an accidental spill of paint. Answer C. Legal costs and damages from a lawsuit resulting from a dog bite. Explanation. Personal liability protection covers legal costs and damages if the insured is found legally responsible for injury or property damage to others. This includes incidents like dog bites, where the insured may be liable for the harm caused, damage to property, or injuries to family members are typically not covered under personal liability, but are usually addressed under other parts of the policy or personal injury coverage. Question 14. Coverage limits and sublimits. Which of the following items would most likely have a sublimit within a standard homeowner's policy? A. Dwelling structure. B. Liability protection. C. Jewelry and other valuable items. D. Additional living expenses. Answer C. Jewelry and other valuable items. Explanation. Standard homeowners policies often include sublimits for specific types of personal property, such as jewelry, art, and collectibles. These items may be subject to lower coverage limits compared to the overall personal property coverage. To ensure adequate protection for high-value items, insured individuals may need to purchase additional endorsements or scheduled personal property coverage. Question 15. Filing a claim. When filing a claim for damage to personal property, what is the primary purpose of submitting a detailed inventory list? A. To expedite the insurance premium payment. B. To document the extent of the damage and assist in the claim adjustment process. C. To request an increase in coverage limits. D. To appeal the insurer's decision on a previous claim. Answer B. To document the extent of the damage and assist in the claim adjustment process. Explanation. A detailed inventory list of damaged personal property helps the insurer assess the value of the loss and ensures an accurate settlement. It provides essential documentation that supports the claim and facilitates the adjustment process. The list does not influence premium payments, increase coverage limits, or serve as a basis for appealing past claims. Question 16. Policy cancellation. Which scenario would most likely justify the cancellation of a homeowner's policy by the insurer? A. The insured has added a new pet to the household. B. The insured's home has undergone a significant remodel. C. The insured has had multiple claims within a short period. D. The insured has changed the color of the front door. Answer C. The insured has had multiple claims within a short period. Explanation. Insurers may cancel a policy if the insured has a history of frequent claims, as this indicates higher risk and potential for future claims. While adding a pet or remodeling may affect the policy, these changes typically require notification and possible adjustments to the policy rather than outright cancellation. A cosmetic change like painting the front door is not a reason for policy cancellation. Question 17. Risk management. Which of the following actions would be considered a proactive risk management strategy for reducing potential home insurance claims? A. Ignoring routine maintenance issues. B. Installing a new high-quality roof. C. Increasing the deductible to reduce premiums. D. Avoiding regular inspections of the home's systems. Answer B. Installing a new, high-quality roof. Explanation. Installing a new, high-quality roof is a proactive risk management strategy that reduces the likelihood of damage from weather events, leaks, and other issues. Regular maintenance and inspections help prevent problems before they escalate, but failing to address maintenance issues or avoid inspections does not effectively manage risk. Increasing the deductible can lower premiums, but does not directly manage risk. Question 18. Underwriting decisions. Which factor is least likely to be considered when underwriting a homeowner's insurance policy? A. The location of the property. B. The insured's credit score. C. The insured's marital status. D. The condition of the property's electrical system. Answer. C. The insured's marital status. Explanation. Underwriting decisions focus on factors that influence the risk associated with the property and the insured's ability to manage that risk. This includes the location of the property, the insured's credit score, and the condition of critical systems like the electrical system. Marital status is generally not a factor in underwriting decisions. Question 19. Coverage modifications. If an insured wants to extend coverage to include protection against earthquakes, which type of policy modification should they consider? A. Increasing the deductible. B. Adding an earthquake endorsement. C. Purchasing a separate renter's insurance policy. D. Reducing the coverage limit for personal property. Answer. B. Adding an earthquake endorsement. Explanation. To extend coverage to include earthquakes, the insured should add an earthquake endorsement to their existing homeowner's policy. This endorsement provides coverage for damage resulting from earthquakes, which is typically excluded from standard policies. Increasing the deductible or modifying coverage limits would not address earthquake damage, and a renter's policy is not applicable to homeowners. Question 20. Policyholder responsibilities. What is the primary responsibility of a policyholder after loss occurs? A. Begin repairs immediately without notifying the insurer. B. Notify the insurer as soon as possible and document the damage. C. Wait until the insurer contacts them before taking any action. D. Assume all losses are covered without submitting a claim. Answer. B. Notify the insurer as soon as possible and document the damage. Explanation. The primary responsibility of a policyholder after loss is to notify the insurer promptly and document the damage thoroughly. This ensures that the insurer is aware of the claim and can begin the claims process. Immediate repairs without notifying the insurer can complicate the claim and assuming coverage without filing a claim or waiting for the insurer to contact the policyholder can lead to issues in the claims process. Question 21. Policy components. Which component of a homeowner's policy specifies the conditions under which the insurer will pay for a loss? A. Declarations page. B. Insuring agreement. C. Exclusions. D. Endorsements. Answer. B. Insuring agreement. Explanation. The insuring agreement in a homeowner's policy outlines the insurer's promise to pay for covered losses under specified conditions. It defines what is covered, including the scope and limitations of coverage. The declarations page provides details about the insured, coverage limits, and premiums. The exclusions list what is not covered and endorsements modify or add to the coverage. Question 22. Homeowners policy forms. Which homeowners policy form provides the broadest coverage for a home? A. HO1. Basic form. B. HO2. Broad form. C. HO3. Special form. D. HO5. Comprehensive form. Answer. D. HO5. Comprehensive form. Explanation. The HO5 comprehensive form offers the broadest coverage among standard homeowners policies, covering both the dwelling and personal property on an open perils basis. This means it covers all perils except those specifically excluded in the policy. The HO3 provides broad coverage for the dwelling and open perils for personal property, while the HO1 and HO2 have more limited coverage. Question 23. Claims process. What is typically required from the insured to support a homeowner's insurance claim? A. A personal statement from the insured's neighbors. B. Photographic evidence and a detailed inventory of damaged items. C. An independent appraisal by a real estate agent. D. A written confirmation of the loss from local authorities. Answer. B. Photographic evidence and a detailed inventory of damaged items. Explanation. To support a homeowner's insurance claim, the insured should provide photographic evidence and a detailed inventory of damaged items. This documentation helps verify the extent of the loss and supports the claim adjustment process. While neighbors' statements or real estate appraisals might be useful in some contexts, they are not typically required for the claims process. Question 24. Risk assessment. Which of the following is a key factor in assessing the risk of insuring a property? A. The homeowner's favorite color. B. The property's location and susceptibility to natural disasters. C. The number of family members residing in the home. D. The type of home furnishings used. Answer: B. The property's location and susceptibility to natural disasters. Explanation: when assessing risk, insurers evaluate factors such as the property's location and its susceptibility to natural disasters, e.g., flooding, earthquakes. These factors significantly impact the likelihood of a claim being made. The homeowner's favorite color, number of family members, and type of furnishings are not relevant to risk assessment. Question 25. Policy provisions. What is typically covered under the dwelling coverage provision of a homeowner's policy? A. Personal belongings of the insured. B. Structures not attached to the home. C. The home's physical structure and attached fixtures. D. Medical expenses for injuries sustained by guests. Answer: C. The home's physical structure and attached fixtures. Explanation: dwelling coverage provides protection for the home's physical structure, including attached fixtures like plumbing, heating systems, and built-in appliances. Personal belongings are covered under personal property coverage, while structures not attached to the home are covered under other structures coverage. Medical expenses for guests are covered under liability protection. Question 26. Exclusions. Which type of damage is generally not covered under a standard homeowner's insurance policy? A. Damage from a windstorm. B. Damage from an earthquake. C. Damage from a fire. D. Damage from a burglary. Answer: B. Damage from an earthquake. Explanation: standard homeowners insurance policies typically exclude coverage for earthquake damage. To cover this risk, a separate earthquake endorsement or policy is required. Windstorm, fire, and burglary are generally covered by standard homeowners policies, though specific conditions and limits may apply. Question 27. Endorsements. Which endorsement would provide additional coverage for expensive jewelry that exceeds the limits of a standard homeowners policy? A. Water backup and sump overflow endorsement. B. Personal property replacement cost endorsement. C. Scheduled personal property endorsement. D. Identity theft endorsement. Answer: C. Scheduled personal property endorsement. Explanation: the scheduled personal property endorsement is used to provide additional coverage for high-value items such as expensive jewelry that exceed the limits of a standard homeowner's policy. This endorsement specifies the items covered and their value, ensuring adequate protection. The other endorsements mentioned cover different risks or areas of coverage. Question 28. Policyholder responsibilities. What is a key responsibility of a policyholder when making changes to the home that might affect insurance coverage? A. Informing the insurer and updating the policy as needed. B. Ignoring the changes if they are minor. C. Making changes without notifying the insurer to avoid potential rate increases. D. Assuming that changes do not affect the policy. Answer: A. Informing the insurer and updating the policy as needed. Explanation: policyholders should inform their insurer of significant changes to the home, such as renovations or additions, and update their policy accordingly. This ensures that coverage remains adequate and reflects the current state of the property. Ignoring changes or making modifications without notifying the insurer can lead to coverage gaps. Question 29. Liability coverage. Which situation would typically be covered under the liability portion of a homeowner's policy? A. Damage to the insured's own property from a storm. B. Injuries to the insured's own family members while at home. C. Injuries to a visitor caused by a pet owned by the insured. D. Costs related to routine home maintenance. Answer: C. Injuries to a visitor caused by a pet owned by the insured. Explanation: liability coverage under a homeowner's policy typically covers injuries to others that occur on the insured's property or are caused by the insured's pets. Damage to the insured's own property, injuries to family members, and routine maintenance costs are generally not covered under liability protection. Question 30. Coverage details. Which type of policy would provide the broadest coverage for a condo owner? A. HA4, Renters Form. B. HA6, Condo Form. C. HA7, Mobile Home Form. D. HA8, Older Home Form. Answer: B. HA6, Condo Form. Explanation: the HA6 Condo Form is specifically designed for condo owners and provides coverage for the interior of the condo unit and personal property. It also offers liability coverage and protection for any improvements made to the unit, The other forms listed are designed for different types of residences and do not provide the appropriate coverage for condo owners.